Hi, this is Paul from Paul's R2D2. This is our video entry for YouTube, and as you can see in the background, we're working on the dome. Now, this is for my second R2D2 because I can't afford third yet. But what I'm working on is this is my Uber R2D2. This is my R2D2 that's going to have all the features. So what I have is, this is an R&J dome. These were made by Ron and Jason. When I joined the club in 2003, these were the latest and greatest for the domes. And what we have here is the inner dome. And as you can see, I've already got the polished, I've got everything removed, and well, I still have got a lot of filing to do for this one, but for sake of conversation right now, all I have is a little bit of detail work done on that, and then it's ready to go. Now what I've done is, with my inner dome, I want to have all the panels in the top and the sides here hinge outward and be able to open. These will eventually be computer controlled, and what I want to do is mimic the effect one of the movies had, where when R2D2 was blasted, all the panels opened up. So what I've done, and as you can see, I've already made the cuts. I carefully traced and figured out with a little bit of an inset where each panel needed to be cut. Now the next step in this process is we have our jag hinges, and if you don't have any of these yet, be looking around on astromech.net on the forums, because it seems like every 5 or 6 months someone's doing a production run of these. These are very well made. They work very well for our purposes because Jerry made them just for droids. They work a whole lot better than the RC hinges, in my opinion, and as you can see, we have the holes right here for wherever you want to happen to mount your servo arm. With that said, I took the back of one of the jack hinges, I clamp in place where I want to have that mounted. The next step in the process is, with that labeled out and basically it's not going to go anywhere, we're going to take a magic marker, preferably a Sharpie or a pencil, whatever you happen to have, and just mark with 2 little dots where you're going to be drilling. Once you've done that, the next step you want to do is you want to use a center punch. If you don't have one, these are very inexpensive to get. You're talking $7 or $8 at your local big box hardware store. And basically what you want to do is 3 or 4 times, mark off and bang, bang, bang. This will put a small dent in the surface of the aluminum so that when you go to drill the hole, the drill is going to stay in place. It's not going to wander around. Like what happened to me here, I didn't use my center punch, and I have one hole slightly higher than the other one because the drill bit wandered. So anyway, with that public service message out there as far as the proper process for drilling, that's what we're going to do today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around here, and I'm going to do the very same thing for these pieces as what I've done over here, and I'm going to mark off where I need to drill holes. After I drill the hole, I'm going to use a countersink bit. This way, the flathead screws, and like I said, I've got all kinds, and the ultimate goal is we want this to fit in together flush, because remember, the outer dome is going to go on top of this, so if there's anything sticking out, it's not going to fit smoothly. Once that is done on this side, on the inside, as you can see our hinges, I just kind of jigged this together here real quick for sake of demonstration. There's going to be 2 rubber pieces that are going to go under here. First, to reduce any vibration, rattling, and plus we're dealing with a curved surface, so it's also going to help keep things rather level. Once we have the screws in, we're going to use a number 6 flat washer, and then on top of that, to secure it, we're going to use a 440 nut, which has a nylon insert, so it's a lock nut, and that is ultimately what's going to hold everything into place. So we'll have, by the time it's all said and done, all these guys sitting here looking nice and sharp. So anyway, that's the process. This is a lot of Dremel work. If you have a reciprocating saw, like an air saw or something, you can make really quick work out of this. This took me probably the course of a couple of nights, because if you're like me and you have a dome that you can't replace for a year until another run happens, you're rather gun shy about racing through this stuff. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. We're going to go ahead and start doing the production work, and we'll kick on the camera and show the results after that. Hi, we're back. Well, I don't know if you can see it from all the way back there, but I'm going to bring this over to the camera, and hopefully the autofocus will autofocus. As you can see, what we've done is we have all the hinges mounted in here. Now, I kind of got carried away. I'm guilty of this most of the time. Since I had all these drilled out and mounted in, I thought, well, let's do the top too. And the one problem I realized after the fact is that we're dealing with a very curved surface, so when the hinge was coming back up, one side was way higher than the other. So that's going to require a different approach, and I'll be happy to share that with you when I figure it out. So anyway, here's what we have now. If I tip down everything, you can see these nice little hinges all floating out. So, and if you look at the inside here, there they are. Beauty, huh? So, if you're wondering why I'm doing this, here's essentially what we're going to do. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have all of our reduced panels folding outward. Well, with these cutouts having been cut out, if we just threw away that material, we would have a difficult time making all of the outer panels sit flush because of this missing material. So I've seen in a couple of cases where they have a difficult time seating and looking flush after they've been folded out or back. So it's one of those situations that's easier to see it than explain it. But anyway, this is what we've done tonight. What we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to take these pieces. We're going to take painter's tape because it doesn't leave any residue behind, and if it does, it's easy to get rid of a glue off. What we're going to do is we're going to put these pieces and we're going to put them in, in their proper spot here. And what we'll do is from behind is we will basically just move the hinge up to where they should meet, and what we'll do is we'll do just the exact same thing we did with the dome piece here. We're going to go through, we're going to take our magic marker or our Sharpie, put the dots, we're going to use our center punch, we're going to mark off what needs to be punched, hit it about 4 or 5 times so we have a nice little divot here to drill into so we don't have the wandering hole. And then we're set to go. Basically, it's just a matter of taking each piece out and doing the whole process and attaching it to the other end of the hinge. So that'll take care of the bottom part anyway. So we're one step closer to having all of these pieces up and working. Then we're going to work on the upper pieces, and then in the next couple of weeks, and again we'll make video of this, we'll be working on the servo hinges, or rather the servo linkages. And the mounting piece that's going to go from each micro servo into each one of these so that each one can be individually opened or closed. So, I know that's a lot to throw at you, especially if you're a newbie. I'm sorry, it's probably as all clear as mud, right? But anyway, that's where we're at this time. Probably tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more work on this, and I guess we'll wrap it up here and wish you a good night. Catch you later, guys.